Hey, team. Welcome back to another episode of the Jen Commandments podcast. I am your host, Jen Witten. I'm an engineer currently working in Wisconsin. I grew up in the Chicagoland area and I went to college in Michigan. Hey! If you see me right now, you're seeing my prep for my Halloween party this weekend. I wanted to do like a run through to make sure that the costume looks the way that I want it to. I am dressing as Miss Piggy for my Halloween party this year. Super cutie, super excited. Um, and this episode will come out the Tuesday after my Halloween party. So, um, very exciting stuff happening in the household this week. Lots that I need to prep for, and lots that I have not prepped for yet. But Miss Piggy gonna make it happen, ho. So I don't know. Ugh, y'all, I just got home. I basically got in the door and then started putting makeup on because I knew that I would want to get this done early in the morning. So I just got back from Milwaukee. I went to Milwaukee this past weekend. Today's currently Monday. I took today off. It is Indigenous Peoples Day. Horrible thing that colonists did. I'm very grateful to be here. I know that it is a privilege, and um, because of that, I am living an extraordinary life because of where I was born. Um, However, that does not negate the fact that like many people suffered to create the United States of America, and um, many people continue to suffer every single day um, for the sake of us pretending. I don't know, pretending we're a superpower in the world still. Just like there's just like a like I said, we're like the bullies of the world. So yeah. Love that. Super cool, super fun. Yeah, so I went to Milwaukee this weekend. I ran a 10K on Saturday. I actually only ran 6 miles somewhere along like the trail. I don't know. I don't think that I uh so like they had us go and turn around somewhere. So I must have not went to all the way to the place. I must have skipped out on zero point 0.1 miles of the like run because I was down point 0.2 and I didn't feel like going back and running more. I was like, bitch, get me out of here. Like that was the longest run I'd ever done. And about halfway through, I was pissed off, and I was running way faster than I usually do. I get like real big adrenaline from other people around, and that like wanting to keep up nature, and so I ran pretty fast for me, but I was absolutely exhausted about halfway through. But I pushed it out. I'm really proud of myself. It's I don't think that I've felt like more accomplished about something in a while, probably since I graduated college, honestly, which is like a crazy thing to compare it to, but like I truly didn't know if I would ever fix my relationship to physical exercise, because like both of my parents haven't really, and like I don't know, it's just like it's hard, but I've really been enjoying it, and I've really I like that it's a solo journey. This is the first time that I've ever done like a solo sport, um and it's interesting. It is just way different. I still like such enjoy team sports and like playing sports for funsies, but it is cool. Running is a fun thing to do on your own. But there's like lots of run clubs and stuff. And I saw how beneficial it was to have like other people around when you're running. Because it made me run faster. It pushed me harder. And like likely I've been able to run that fast this whole time, but I haven't been pushing myself to like my body's, limits or whatever. So not that you have to either. I've sports really push you to think that like you should be like pushing your body to its limits always. And like, I don't know, maybe that's not what exercise is about. Maybe exercise is like about maintaining health and like enjoying being outside or something. I don't know, you know. So I don't know. The 10K, it was a spooky 10K, which means there was lots of people dressed up and that was super fun. I wore my little cow print sweatpants, and then I just wore like an Under Armour shirt, so that I didn't get too hot, cuz I think having both pieces on would have died, cuz having the sweatpants alone was like pretty hot. So, super cutie. My favorite, there was a gal, she was dressed up as Dora, and she didn't do too much either. It was just like she wore like the right colors, and I was like, oh, so cutie. And then there was a group, or like a family who did the 5K, and they all dressed up as like thing one, thing two. That I always love when families do that too. I think that's super cutie. And I think we had like some Ghostbusters too. But what I'm always so impressed with is the parents who are doing it with like a stroller, you know. I'm like, holy shit, dog. Like, I am pissed off that I'm doing this by myself. If I had to carry like a stroller too, nah. Fuck them kids, bro. They don't need to be a part of the hobby, you know. um but anyway, super fun. I really enjoyed that. And then I got home, called bestie. Well, okay, I called one of my besties before the 10K. He has like a 12-13 hour time difference, and so it was early as fuck in the morning for me, which meant that it was like right in the afternoon/evening for him, which was sort of perfect. um, and I called him. It was like the first time I was able to talk to him since he got married. And I don't know. He was just telling me like about his life. He's coming to terms with the transition. It's a hard transition to. I can't even imagine like going from living in the U.S. And then coming back home, and like I don't know, the it's just such a different, it's sort of similar. I mean, to a certain extent, it is very similar to like coming home from college in any sort of context, right? Like you come home a completely different person, and like I think it's easy to compare your times. Obviously, we're comparative people, so but like they are completely different experiences, and so you can't expect them to be the same, and you have to look for different things to find happiness, um, in every phase that you're in. And so I don't know, we got to talk about that during the Malaysia episode. I told y'all that like I had a like very good experience with like romance sort of. And I think it was a very good experience. He has since like been able to come back to the US, and I think he's doing his master's degree, which is very exciting. Um but Bestie was just like, "Nah." And I said, "Okay." Because listen, I'm not gonna ask no more questions about men moving forward. If somebody tells me they're not right for me, I'm just gonna believe them off the jump. Do you know what I mean? After the track record, the experiences that I've had um over the last year, like if somebody that I love and trust tells me like I don't think this person deserves you, I'm going to trust their intuition about it. You know what I mean? I would trust that they would know their friend more than I would, you know? So that's been since dealt with, chopped from the record. Miss Piggy moves forward. Ugh, men are always great till they gotta be great. You know what I mean? That's just the way it go. Um, yeah, dude. I love this costume. I got this dress from Depop. I think it's from Sheen. But I got it for cheap as hell. And God bless them. God bless them. I'll probably sell it again afterwards. That's the way it go. Um, But yeah, I figured it was perfect for a little Miss Piggy. Um, yeah, Milwaukee was fun. So then after my 10K, I called other bestie and had to fill her in on the tea because she was with me. Like, and she knows. Like, at the end of the day, that I don't really like. I give a fuck, but like not enough to find out. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck enough to find out. I ain't never gonna fuck around and find out again, probably. We talked about all sorts of stuff. We talked about that. We talked about how our feelings and stuff are starting to change about dating and just like trying to learn who we are first and then truly what it is that we would want then out of a partnership because like I think we're still me I guess I can just talk for myself, but like I'm still trying to unlearn the relationship dynamics and the like I don't know mass media brainwashing that has been like I don't know men have to provide men like I it's just it's really because it's not beneficial to anyone involved um and it's counterproductive to what I stand for, right? And listen, here's the tea. If it comes between a man who's not going to provide and a man who's going to provide, obviously you should always choose the man who's going to provide, right? That's just smart choosing. That's because I know that I would provide, and that's what a man is searching for. That's what, like, when they're like, does this bitch cater to my needs? Does this bitch conform when I show her that I'm annoyed at her? Like, that's really, in my head, that's really what the thought process is. So, like, I'm pissed off. But we've been unpacking that. After I talked to Bestie, I got to get ready for a dinner reservation and then I went to a comedy show. I went to go see Taylor Tomlinson and I tried caviar for the first time. I figured that's how I celebrated my physical achievement. I wanted to try caviar by myself. I never wanted somebody else to pay for it for me. I didn't want to be like in a group setting. I wanted it to be something that was like for me, by me. And I don't know why, but that was something that was very important to me. I like even if I had gotten the opportunity before, I don't like it's just something that I wanted to do alone. It's something that I as a child viewed as like expense like and it is like an expensive thing. But like that was the wealth status symbol thing. And so to be able to provide that for myself opposed to receiving it in any other circumstance was just like a way to prove to myself like you did everything that you were raised to do and you did everything that you set out to do since you were a child and I'm very proud of you, you know. That was just very important to me. And I had a great time at dinner. I got like a good little buzz on. And I had a great time at Taylor Tomlin. She's so funny. She does such a excellent job of bridging some sort of gap between understanding that your hyper religious upbringing was so detrimental to so many parts of your life now, um like in so many aspects. However, there were and are, and it is okay to like pay homage and like understand it's not something that you have to avoid. It's something that like you can talk about, and because it was such a big part of your life, it's okay to show that you are knowledgeable about this thing. I think um I don't know, part of I'm so apprehensive to talk about religion um in sort of like any con and like any context of defending against like politics and stuff like that, just because even though I do know books of the Bible, I do know like I have read and memorized the Bible extensively. Like um and not because I wanted to, because it was like I had to for church, and like I would not have been confirmed, and that was important for whatever, like, like it's okay to know about the Bible, and it's okay to make jokes about, to know it so well that you can make jokes about it. And I don't know, I adore Taylor. I really liked her new hour. I thought it was funny, and I wish her all the success in the world. Love her bad. Then I went home. Saturday was a long day. I went home, went to sleep. Oh, I had the best day ever. And then some man slid in my DMs on some stupid shit. Like, okay, listen. I will crack. At the expense of a white man, unfortunately, I am going to crack the joke. Okay. And that's something that white men don't really like about me. And so I cracked a few too many jokes, and I triggered someone, and I triggered him so much that he said some shit that was irredeemable to me, and I blocked him. I said, "Great. I'm glad that I now understand that you've been holding resentment towards me for some time now. I'm glad that we aired that out. You don't have to have access to me anymore then. I've solved the problem for you." You know what I mean? Like it's like a really simple fix, truly. Like if I don't like what somebody be saying, I don't really I just remove myself, you know? I'm like, "Okay, word, you can, and you can do whatever the fuck you want over there." You know what I mean? So that's what that was. Crazy. I don't know. It's like it was the kind of white boy who like acted really hard when he was like, I don't know, 18, 19, 20, and then like became conservative in his 20s, and like pretends like he's not, but he is, you know? He's like, "I'm the moderate man. I don't stand for anything. I'm friends with everyone." But like got drunk and then cussed me out because I had a different opinion than him. Like, okay, team. Word, 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 word. Um, so that was just like a funny end to the night of like a white man is always gonna ruin some shit. He didn't ruin nothing, but like I did get so annoyed that I slid into our mutual friends DMs, and I was like, respectfully, if you don't want homeboy to cry, I would tell him to take a step back. Like I was like, as somebody who has received me being a cunt to them, I would advise him to take a fucking step back, you know? Um so yeah, whatever. Then on Sunday, I went and I got brunch. Um well, I didn't get brunch. I did like this mimosa tour at the Pabst Mansion, which, if you're unaware, Pabst is a type of beer, and it was started in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, by two German immigrants. Um, I forget Pap's first name because like the tour guide basically called him the captain the whole time, because homeboy was a steam line captain or something like that before he started brewing, and he did that throughout the Great Lakes. So he would, I don't know if it was steamboat or like or like a cargo ship, something like that, but like he was a captain, and like he much preferred that title over like a brewing CEO. You know what I mean? And I don't know. We did the whole tour of their like 20,000 or 20,000. Yeah, actually 20,000 square foot mansion. And at the time on that road, since then that's like Marquette's campus now. And so there's not like, but at the time when that mansion was built, there was like hella other mansions around, and that was considered a small mansion. for the road. But it was a cool little thing. It was just a very, I didn't realize, I don't know, it's just crazy what how easy it all used to be. Well, because capitalism was new, there was less competition, you know, and so I don't know, you could be really lucrative in an early capitalistic society, you know. So it was a very interesting tour, very fun thing to go do in Milwaukee, and you're supporting like a local historic landmark, you know. So if you ever find yourself there and you want to go fuck around in a mansion for a little bit, definitely go check that out. It's not, nobody died in there, so it's not haunted or anything. Like the vibes are decent in there. From what records show and stuff, like all of his servants and stuff were also German, and like he was a very good boss to all of, like, I guess I guess he was decent. I don't know. I don't know. I can't, there's no way to tell for sure, but I didn't do any real research afterwards, but I did. They gave us this little piece the like will. um and I wanted to read it to you just cuz it's just interesting. There's a couple parts of it where I was like, huh. That I just wanted to, like, I don't know, point out. So this is addressed to his children for after he died. It says, "My dear children, I placed these few lines in the package containing my last will and addressed them to you instead of your dear mother, for the reason that she and I have several times talked the matter over, and she fully understands my wishes herein expressed. You have all been good children and a great comfort to me. My happiest thoughts are connected with you in the hope and belief that after I shall be called away, you will, all of you, strive to be kind and good to your mother and to each other." I did want to note also that it was made sure to, it says on here that it's the original format and grammar. So some of it doesn't really make sense. I think it was probably written in German and this is just translated. And so the translation might be a little silly, but I have the earnest and cherished desire that you will, after I am gone, strive to preserve harmony and goodwill and unselfish relations among yourselves. Try to keep the estate I leave you together so far as you can, and make it productive of not only of increase and substance, but let it be a cause for mutual confidence and affection. Each of you should yield to the other more or less, if necessary, to preserve harmony and union. So basically, homeboy was like, y'all better keep this shit together and y'all better get along while you fucking do it. Which is kind of like, I don't know, whatever. Sickness, misfortune, perhaps something worse can come of someone of you. But my dear children, face it bravely and with hearts full of love for each other, and just do what you think I would like to have you do if I was present to advise and counsel you. That was the part that made me want to talk about the letter. Was he, even in his dying wish, told those kids to do whatever the fuck you think I would want you to do. And that's really what I wanted to talk about here. Of like it's really interesting to me, especially like, I don't know how much history has relied on children blindly following their parents, and like that is that is why people don't want their kids to get educated. Okay? Like once your kids start to experience life and things outside of what you are sort of like, I don't know, manufacturing for them to experience, and they start to form their own thoughts and opinions and whatever, that's that right there. You know what that tells me? that he had some control issues. And obviously as a CEO and like a legacy holder of, or like creator, a legacy creator, right? I think it would be hard not to hold the ego and the like, please just do what you know I would have wanted, you know, for my legacy or whatever. Um, but also, bitch, you're gone, bro. Let your legacy be your legacy, okay? And let these new people's legacy be theirs. It's still your name. And if you raise them right, if you raise them with good morals, with kind, like, I don't know. I think people being scared of their children being independent is more of a reflection on their like insecurity about how they parented. Did y'all just see me move my wig up? Because I could see the brown. If y'all could see the brown, fucking mind your business, okay? Because listen, this is a test run. I'm gonna have besties here to help next time, okay? Anyway, when a parent really fears when their children start to really be independent thinkers for real and really start to be their own person, I think that's more of a reflection on their insecurity about how they parented, or like them thinking that they're a bad parent. And I think it's less about you being an independent and more about them not being sure if the shit that they raised you with, or how they raised you, was the right shit for real. And baby, it's too late now. And your will is not the time. Okay? Okay? Anyway, be generous and unselfish to each other in case of need. And above all, be honest and noble in all your dealings, not only with each other, but with the world. I want you to always have a good name. Now, did he care about them doing good shit because he cared about them being morally correct, or did he care about them doing good shit because he didn't want his name to be fucked up? But that's neither here nor there. It is better than riches, and your greatest happiness will come from your knowledge of doing right. I do think that that is sound advice, and I do think that that was genuine and kind. You must first of all be good to your mother. Do all you can to make her last days her best days, and when she is gone and you are left without either father or mother, try to always remember my last wishes, that you, my dear children, shall live in harmony and mutual confidence, each all doing his or her new power to keep the estate productive of the best results, for the interest of not any one child, but for all surviving children. So basically, he's like, I want this, make sure it's all mutually beneficial to everyone, and make sure that, like, I don't know, that you guys are living in, like, don't let this wreck your guys's, at least the way that I perceived that paragraph was like, I care more about the riches I care more about you guys living in harmony than I care about the Pabst name. This says, I cannot say more in this letter. It is merely a last word to you all, begging you to remember your father's last wish, that you each and all do all you can to promote each other's happiness and welfare through life, no matter what changes may come, or how one may be favored, or another be frowned upon by fortunes of the world. Goodbye, my dear children, your loving father. So the last paragraph, to me, mind you, I've read through this a bunch. The grammar is a little weird, right? And so I understand, and I didn't read it great. So I understand if you're a little confused right now. Basically, he's like, begging is such a like cute and like beautiful. I love, even though like it's written sort of funny, it is so poetic still. I like that English used to be a little bit more romantic. I do think that we've sort of taken the romance out of language for sure. But I just wanted to read that to you guys. I don't know. I felt I felt it was like, I don't know, important. I felt like it was an interesting reflection on how maybe like a CEO or a founder like views wealth, views their family, and views their legacy, you know. Um and like, what flaws do you see in his, and then like also what good, like I do think of the rich people, right? It seems like they were pretty level-headed. So yeah, I don't know. It was a fun little tour. I enjoyed it a lot. Um, and I don't know. I got to just like sort of veg out in the hotel in between, and that's like, I don't know, I haven't really, I've traveled a lot this year. I've traveled so much this year, but I haven't really vacationed a lot this year where I've taken conscious time to recharge and rest. And as much as I was like up and around and doing stuff this weekend, I was spending time with myself, and I was really, I don't know, I felt so at peace, and like I just had a great weekend. I don't know. It was really enjoyable to spend that time with myself. And Dante, of course. Dante comes with everywhere. We had a good time. We had a good time. We got to go out. Dante got to go on hella walks because the hotel room's small, right, compared to our apartment. So we'd be going out and exploring a lot to combat the smaller space. And but he knows a hotel well, so he doesn't really mind that much. But yeah, that was sort of my weekend. I don't know. I've been coping with everything, and like, not that the clown, like, obviously that was a very triggering event. It wasn't triggering because of home, like I could care less about Homeboy. He was like a representation of like a much bigger issue, you know. And it triggered like some self-worth stuff. I think that was it's just like a lot to know that I will struggle with these things forever. And so like I finally come to terms with that, where I'm like, okay, the way that you navigate certain things isn't the healthiest. And like, instead of just like rejecting that it's not healthy, or like rejecting that idea and just being like, oh well, I'm perfect, right? And being like, okay, well, if you want to conduct healthy things in the future, you have to act different, and you have to be conscious of things, and like, I don't know, actually do that shit for real, you know? I think it's hard, but it's worth it. I'm working on it. And I don't know. I have so much shit to do. Sorry. As I was speaking that last sentence, it all dawned on me how much shit that I still have to do before the party on Saturday, because I've been traveling for the last 3 or 4 weeks. And so I haven't really, and I've been training for the 10K. So like, when I've been home, I've been running 3 days a week, and that gives me one day. So like, here's what my schedule has looked like for the last few weeks. Um, I'll travel on the weekend, so that means that I'll usually leave Friday. Or if I don't leave Friday, then I'll record the podcast on Friday so that I don't have to record it when I get back, because I have to run. Then Monday, Tuesday, run. Wednesday, I don't know, exist as a human being. Sometimes I do other things. Sometimes I like catch up on work and like whatever. I try to like work most of the day on Wednesday, because like my schedule is busy as fuck. Um, and likely I can't work the full day on Friday. So I want to make sure I have some extra hours stacked so that leaving on Friday is not going to be crazy. Thursday I have to run. Friday, traveling. I've been doing that for like the last 5 weeks. No, not five. Five is dramatic. Like, I don't know, 3 weeks. I'm tired. But, but I only have a couple more weeks of that, and then it's done. And like the time, this time though has been so fun that even though it's busy, I like don't even really feel it. I'm like, okay, but I'm having fun. So all the stuff that I've been doing has been like not, it hasn't taken like a lot of my emotional and like social battery too. I know the party will. And like I love parties. I love like having people together and stuff. It is a big social battery drainer, right? And hosting in general is a big social battery drainer. But like to that's like still it's still worth it. I only do it like what once every 2 years or so. So who gives a fuck? I can do it. It's gonna be okay, you know. And that's the T is like show up for your community is like I don't know, it's a once every 2 year opportunity. And not like your friends probably ain't gonna throw shit for real that often. So when they do throw some shit, make sure that you show up. And not even to make people feel guilty for not like whatever. That's not what I mean. I just mean like for your friends, bro. Like I don't know, show up. Show up. It's fun to show up. And even if you guys aren't super super close, I have built so many friendships by just showing up to things that people don't expect me to show up to for them. Like Jasmine, she was on the pod. Um she and I became sort of besties because she had an extra ticket to her high school graduation. She and I had probably only hung out like once before that. Um and she was like, "Does anyone want to come?" And I was like, "I do." I happen to be in town. I knew that I liked Jasmine and I wanted to be her friend. And so I was like, I'll come. Like and we became like besties afterwards. Show up for the people that you want to show up for. Show up for the people that you see in the wild and you're like, this is someone who inspires me. This is somebody who whatever. I think it's a lot easier to make friends than people think. Like you literally just have to show up and you don't have to like be anything when you're there. I think I'm pretty quiet for the like I'm not quiet. Okay, when I'm like one on one with somebody, I'm not very quiet. But when I'm in like a group setting, I'm like I'm not gonna talk for real. But like I showed up, and that's what matters. Bitch, they gonna remember you were there. Okay, I love you guys very much. Um, oh my god, Halloween! Did you enjoy Miss Piggy? Am I eating? I so the black I hit it most of the episode, but the black won't be for the Halloween party. I have like a pink corset to wear underneath, and this is like backless, so it's gonna be hot. But this is just for today's episode. I didn't want to wear the corset while sitting. I was like, I'm not really trying to be a drag queen for real. I'm just part time drag. So I don't know. Love you guys so much. Thank you for letting me be like, silly, fun, goofy, dress up for Halloween, all these this is my show. Y'all didn't let me do anything. So I don't know. Thank you for dealing with my goofy ass. Love y'all so much.